Hi, this is the Romanian team and we are going to present each other. So the first one.
Hi Roxana.
I'm Andrei. So we are going to show you in a virtual tour our city, our architecture and one of the most important buildings. So hope that you will like it with us and let us show you the city. Let's go.
So this is Hanului Manuk or Manuk Sin. It's one of the oldest hotel buildings in Bucharest, in Romania. It was built in 1808 by Manuk Bey and it's built in the Brâncoveanu style. It also houses a popular restaurant, several bars, a coffee house, several stores and an extensive bar. Its massive multiply-balconied courtyard hosted many performances and fairs and was a popular place for Romanian television crews to shoot folkloric performances. The hotel and restaurant were refurbished in 2007. Capitoline Wolf is a bronze sculpture depicting the scene from the legend of the founding of Rome. The sculpture shows a she-wolf circling the mythical twin founders of Rome, Romulus and Remus. This was a gift from Rome in 1906 to symbolizing the Romanizing of Dacia and the becoming of Romania. So this is the Latin passage. To your left we have the head of Decebal. This is the Dacian leader that held the troops during the Dacian wars that were between the years 101-102 and 105-106. Along the walls we have moments from the wars, from the column of Trajan. These wars led to the Romanizing of Dacia, which led to the Romanian language. The Romanian language is now part of a group of the Latin languages right next to Portuguese, Spanish and Italian. The Kilometer Zero monument, located in central Bucharest, Romania, in front of the new St. George Church, was created by Constantin Baraski in 1938. The distances from Bucharest to other cities in Romania are measured from this monument. It is divided into 8 sections, each representing a Romanian historical province.
Now we're going to talk about the National Theatre of Romania, which was founded initially as the Grand Theatre of Bucharest in 1852, its first director being Costache Karagiale. Prince Gheorghe Bibescu adopted the idea of founding the theatre and choose a new location on the spot of the former Filaret Inn, which was damaged beyond repair after the earthquake of 1838, there were many reasons to favor this location. It was centrally located, right in the middle of Podrum Obușoaiei, and the inn needed to be torn down. The building was built in the Baroque style, with 38 stalls on the main floor, 3 levels of lodges, and a luxurious square with staircases of marble and a large gallery in which students could attend free of charge.
So this is the next important point of our virtual tour. This is the University Square where the big protest against communism was held. On December 21 and 22, 1989, after being prevented from reaching the Palace Square where the protest against Ceausescu was about to start, the protesters headed to University Square, where they began to gather in increasing numbers until the streets got crowded. Dramatic moments took place in this square, such as street fights between protesters and law enforcement, as well as demonstration of solidarity and desire for change. Following these events, the communist regime in Romania collapsed and Nicolae Ceausescu was executed on December 25, 1989. The main demands of the University Square protesters included freedom of speech, freedom of press, to end the abuses against the humanity that was made by the secret services, and the biggest urge for justice, and for holding free election. The events in the University Square represent a turning point in the history of modern Romania and opened the way to democratizations and economic reforms in the country.
Now we're going to talk about the University of Bucharest, which is a public university founded in its current form in 1864, which was 158 years ago by the decree of Prince Alexandru Ioan Cuza to convert the former princely academy into the current University of Bucharest, making one of the oldest modern Romanian universities. The University of Bucharest offers study programs in Romanian and English and is classified as an advanced research and education university by the Ministry of Education. After the building was bombed in the Second World War, some changes were made, so the building ended up being used by the academic staff. For this purpose, lecture rooms, conference rooms, and a cinema were made. The building has eclectic style due to the Ionic columns that have scroll-shaped ornaments on the capital, which sits at the top of the column shaft. But it also has features which are specific to the Gothic architectural style, highlighted mostly by the cornices made up of a range of kernels, as well as by the alcoves present in the higher area of the facade. The building that hosts the University House of Bucharest today was built by the blueprints of Dalmatian architect Luigi Lipițăr. The University of Bucharest has multiple faculties covering various fields such as geography, letters, history, chemistry, and math.
So we arrived at one of the most important locations during the revolution of the communism. This building is representing the symbol of freedom for the Protestants. So during the Romanian Revolution of 1989, the Central Committee of Romanian Communist Party, PCR, was one of the main targets of the Protestants, who demand the removal of its members from office and a radical change of the political system. At the beginning of the revolution, the Central Committee was led by Nicolae Ceausescu and his trusted men, who were vehemently opposed to the changes and tried to suppress the protests. During this period, the Central Committees became the symbol of communist power and oppression, being besieged by Protestants and military troops who joined the revolt movement. As events got uglier, a group of reformists within the Central Committees attempted to take control and negotiate with the protesters, but this effort was ultimately defeated by Ceausescu's loyalties. After Ceausescu's escape attempt, the Central Committee fell down and was abandoned by most of its members and became a symbol of crumbling communist power. Following these events of the revolution, the Central Committee was disbanded and its members were investigated and punished for their role in the communist regime. This event marked the end of an era and the beginning of a new chapter in Romanian history. On the morning of December 22, 1989, Nicolae Ceausescu and his wife Elena Ceausescu tried to escape with a helicopter from the central committee, this building that you have in front of you, where they were during the violent protest against their communist regime. However, their escape attempt failed and the helicopter was forced to land down by the military forces. Nicolae Ceausescu and his wife, who ended up captured by the soldiers, later summarily executed.
The Royal Palace is a monumental building built in 1937, located on Calea Victoriei in the Palace Square. The imposing building is built in Baroque style in the shape of the letter U, with an inner courtyard open to the boulevard. Today, the Royal Palace hosts the National Art Museum of Romania. The Romanian Athenaeum is a concert hall in Bucharest located on Calea Victoriei in George Enescu Square. The building was built between 1886 and 1888 according to the plans of the French architect Albert Galeron. Circular, dominated by a large dome with the main facade in the neoclassical style, the Athenaeum has the appearance of an Ionic temple with 6 front columns and 2 side ones. Currently, it houses the headquarters of the George Enescu Philharmonic. The Romanian Athenaeum the palace was built with public money following the organization of a national lottery where 500,000 tickets worth 1 leu were sold. Also, the Athenaeum is represented on the 5-lei banknote next to a piano and a fragment of the musical score.
Calea Victoriei. The appellative Calea Victoriei refers to an important artery in the historic center of Bucharest that was first called Mogoșoaia Pit, the initial road between the city and the King's Palace, a road that from the beginning followed to impress the people that walked the way. Being the earliest that had sidewalks full of trees, the alley is playing and played an important role in the modern history of Romania. During the post-war period, Calea Victoriei was one of the most important commercial and cultural arteries in the capital. After the establishment of communist regime in 1947, the avenue became a symbol of power and opulence of the new political class. And some of the most important government buildings, such as Victoria Palace, were built and rebuilding, especially in this area. During the Romanian Revolution of 1989, Calea Victoriei was one of the main squares for protest, along with the University Square and the Palace Square. Protesters gathered in increasing huge numbers in this area, demanding political change and the removal of communist regime. As the events developed, the protests became increasingly violent and there were street battles between demonstrators and law enforcement. Finally, after the dictator Nicolae Ceausescu was executed, Calea Victoriei was renamed Victory Avenue and became the symbol of the Romanian people's victory over the communist regime. Today, Victory's Boulevard is one of the most important thoroughfares in Bucharest and is flanked by some of the city's most impressive buildings such as Cotroceni Palace and the Romanian Athenaeum.
Carol Cubere is one of the most important restaurants in Bucharest, which was built in 1879, and in 1899, after some reconstructions, it got the new elements that we can see today. In 1898, based on the project drawn by the architect, the Directorate of Technical Works of Bucharest City Hall issues Mr. N. Mircea the authorizations to build it.
The new construction was inaugurated in June 1899. The building developed as follows: basement with cellars for storing beer and wine barrels, high ground floor having the function of a hall-type restaurant, 2 floors for the owner's residence and for the employees, as well as a spacious attic. In the landscape of the time, the building stands out due to the asymmetrical composition of the facade, marked with a cantilever tower with a hipped roof and by details with Gothic decorative elements, graduated vertically and crowned with a niche central from the roof level where the emblematic statue of the building representing an inn is located. Through all these characteristics, the architectural style of the building belongs to the Romanticism of the German school.
The drawings created in 1924 propose a layout similar to that of the Stavropoleos building, with the same elements of language both in the plan and for the new facade in Lipscan Street. The drawings were exhibited at the official exhibition of architecture and decorative arts in 1929.
By arranging the new spaces in the Lipscan building, the basement in the Stavropoleos building is transferred into a wine cellar, being decorated in the characteristic style, and opening up the central space of the hall is amplified, being completed with a large skylight and stained glass windows suitable for the brewery.
The Palace of the Parliament, also known as the Republic House or People House or People Palace, is the seat of the Parliament of Romania, located at the top of Dealul Spirii in Bucharest, the national capital. The palace reaches a height of 84 meters. It is the heaviest building in the world, weighing about 4.10 million tons, also being the second largest administrative building in the world.
The building was designed and supervised by chief architect Ana Petrescu, with a team of approximately 700 architects constructed over a period of 13 years, in socialist, realist, and modernist neoclassical architectural forms and styles with socialist realism in mind. The palace was ordered by Nicolae Ceausescu, the president of Communist Romania, and the second of 2 long ruling heads of the state and country since World War II. During the period in which the personality cult of political worship and adoration increased considerably for him and his family, the construction ended in 1997.
Known for its ornate interior composed of 23 sections, the palace houses the 2 chambers of the Parliament of Romania, the Senate and the Chamber of Deputies, along with 3 museums and an international conference center. The museum in the palace are the National Museum of Contemporary Art Museum, the Museum of Communism, Totalitarianism, and the Museum of Palace.
The building was constructed almost entirely of materials of Romanian origin. Among the few exceptions are the door of Nicolae Bălcescu Hall, received by Ceausescu as a gift from his friend, longtime Italian president of Zaire.
Among the materials are 3,500 tons of crystal, 480 chandeliers, 409 ceiling lights and mirrors were manufactured. Stone of steel and bronze were used for monumental doors and windows, chandeliers and capitals.
The Palace of Parliament in Bucharest is a fascinating mix of architectural styles, combining neoclassical styles which is characterized by grandeur of scale, simplicity of geometric forms, and Greek Corinthian elements with traditional Romanian influences.